Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about Cersei's prophesied killer, the Valonqar, and who that person might be. Valonqar, in case you don't know, is a very important part of Maggie's prophecy in the books. Although almost everything Maggie the Frog told Cersei on the show already came true, there's this one part of the prophecy that the show left out but decided to eventually foreshadow in Season 7 premiere. It's the prophecy of the Valonqar. In A Song of Ice and Fire, a series of epic fantasy novels on which the Game of Thrones series is based, Maggie's prophecy, beside including everything in the show feature, also includes the line, "And when your tears have drowned you, the Valonqar shall wrap his hands about your pale white throat and choke the life from you." The word Valonqar in High Valyrian means little brother. Cersei took this to mean Tyrion, which is part of why she hates him so much. The identity of Cersei's prophesied Valonqar has been heavily debated among the fans, and numerous suggestions have been made thus far, with Tyrion and Jaime being the most suitable choices as they are Cersei's younger brothers. But the Valonqar prophecy is most likely not that simple. If you read the prophecy without making the same mistakes Cersei does, there's plenty of people who fit what it actually says, not only Tyrion and Jaime. George R. R. Martin's characters are always misinterpreting prophecies. In particular, Cersei and most readers take the Valonqar section out of context and think it could be one of her siblings, either Jaime or Tyrion. Let's take a quick look at the Valonqar prophecy once again. "And when your tears have drowned you, the Valonqar shall wrap his hands about your pale white throat and choke the life from you." Note how it says the Valonqar, meaning the younger brother, not your younger brother or a younger brother, but the title brother already established by the context. Cersei immediately assumes it's centered around her. Even at this young age, she already hates her younger brother Tyrion and leaps at the chance to hate him more. Having come to this conclusion, she treats the Valonqar as some kind of dread title for her monster of her younger brother. Not only could the younger brother, the Valonqar, be any male in the story who has an older sibling, but it can also be any female in the story who has an older sibling as well. How? Well, the word Valonqar comes from High Valyrian, a language that is not really into gender specificities as we learned in Season 7, so this younger brother could very well be a younger sister. The prophecy of the prince that was promised also comes from High Valyrian, and as we learned, it's gender neutral, meaning that, as Miss Sandy said it, the proper translation of that prophecy would be "the prince or princess that was promised will bring you dawn." Therefore, an actual translation of the Valonqar prophecy might also be gender neutral, with a possibility of both younger brother and younger sister possibly being the Valonqar. Cersei think it's Tyrion, the fandom think it's Jaime Lannister, Cersei's twin brother that is technically her younger brother as he was born a few minutes after her. As I already said in my previous video, supporting evidence to this theory could also be both Jaime and Cersei's statements that just like they were born, they will die together as well. They believe their deaths are linked. They both claim that because they came into the world together, they will leave it together as well. Examples include Jaime's statement that he cannot die while Cersei lives. "We will die together as we were born together," Jaime finished. Cersei says, "If he were dead, I would know it. We came into this world together, uncle. He would not go without me." Perhaps Jaime truly is the prophesied Valonqar, which might have even been foreshadowed in the Season 7 premiere. Above Cersei's head, the words "the neck." Just above Jaime, the fingers. Will Jaime wrap his fingers around Cersei's neck? Perhaps. Maggie the Frog prophesied to Cersei that the Valonqar younger brother will kill her, but she did not say your Valonqar, your brother will kill you. And if the word Valonqar is gender neutral, then it means that the Valonqar could possibly be anyone in the story who's got an older sibling. It could be anyone from Arya Stark who has Cersei on her list to Dany who is also someone's little sibling, and who will probably want to put an end to Cersei after the betrayal she's done in the Season 7 finale. As a matter of fact, the official Game of Thrones Season 7 Episode 7 scripts that are on display for the public to see in the Writers Guild of America West Library seem to be indicating that Dany might be Cersei's prophesied Valonqar, the one that will put an end to her reign and her life altogether. For the Season 7 finale, the script reads at one point, "Cersei stares at her enemy, this baby-faced usurper who's come to take what's hers." Is the old Cersei prophecy actually about Dany? That would be quite accurate. Cersei did not wed the Prince Rhaegar Targaryen as she wanted. She married the King Robert Baratheon. They both had children, but not together. King Robert fathered 20 and Queen Cersei had 3 with Jaime. And while when this aired, 2 out of 3 Cersei's children were still alive. By the end of Season 6, they all had their golden crowns and shrouds. But who is going to be this younger, more beautiful queen that will cast Cersei down and take all she holds? Cersei, as well as most viewers, thought this was a reference to Queen Margaery Tyrell, who married 2 of Cersei's sons after initially being married to Renly Baratheon. Margaery firstly married Joffrey in order to become the queen, and she did become one, but not for too long, not even for a day. Joffrey was poisoned in a wedding celebration, and Margaery was not in a position to press the issue of being the queen, since it was not a good time, as the capital and royal family was mourning. Upon failing 2 times to become an actual queen, Margaery finally becomes Queen of the Seven Kingdoms upon marrying Cersei's other son, Tommen. Cersei, as well as most of the fans, saw Margaery as this prophesied younger and more beautiful queen that will overthrow Cersei. Cersei was the queen of the Seven Kingdoms until her sons came to the throne and wed Margaery Tyrell, so Margaery did in some sense overthrow Cersei from being the queen of the Seven Kingdoms, but she certainly is not the prophesied one, as at the end Cersei is the one who eradicated her and took the throne for herself. Cersei was able to vanquish Margaery, all the Tyrells, and a whole lot of other citizens of King's Landing when she set wildfire to the Great Sept of Baelor in the Season 6 finale. However, the script from Cersei's first meeting with Dany in Season 7 makes it seem she may not be out of the woods just yet. In avoiding that last bit of the prophecy, you'll be the queen for a time, then comes another, younger, more beautiful to cast you down and take all you hold dear. For Season 7, Episode 7, the script reads at one point, Cersei stares at her enemy, this baby-faced usurper who's come to take what's hers. The script does seem to support Dany being the prophesied younger, more beautiful queen that will overthrow Cersei, but it does not necessarily mean that she will be Cersei's Valonqar. It doesn't necessarily mean that Dany will, beside putting an end to the Mad Queen's reign, also put an end to her life, although it does not necessarily mean she will not, although I personally don't see it happening. Not that Dany won't cast Cersei down and overthrow her, as a matter of fact she most likely will be that queen as the official script supports it, but I don't see Dany being the one to put an end to Cersei's life. It's gotta be either Jaime or Arya, but that's just me. It could also be Euron, it could also be Sansa, it could be Jon Snow, it could be many characters. What we can say for sure is that in the official script, Cersei sees Dany as the prophesied queen that will cast her down and take all she holds. Now that I mentioned Euron Greyjoy, that character is also on top of my list as who might be the Valonqar, and here's why. Euron Greyjoy is on his way back to King's Landing with the Golden Company. From the official thesis, we know that Cersei will be in a big trouble once Euron returns, with Lena Headey, an actress who played Cersei, describing it with this statement. As usually with Cersei, she's trapped in a web of her own making. Cersei is being trapped in Euron's hands after she so foolishly let Euron make a contract with the Golden Company, and making him so powerful overall. Pylos Beg said this about his character Euron in Season 8. Euron wants to become the king of the Seven Kingdoms, yet he's also blackmailing Cersei. Euron is blackmailing Cersei with the Golden Company and his Iron Fleet. Cersei has to marry Euron, or he will leave with his fleet, and turn the Golden Company against her, as it might be Cersei who paid them, but it's Euron who made a deal with them, and it's Euron whose name is on the contract. That's why she's trapped in a web of her own making, and that's how Euron is blackmailing her. Cersei will have to marry Euron. All Euron Greyjoy wants is to become the king of the Seven Kingdoms, and if Cersei does not make him one, he will kill her and become one, which was actually heavily foreshadowed in Season 7, so I would not be surprised if that happens. Remember what Euron said to Cersei when he greets her in the throne room of King's Landing in the Season 7 premiere. Ever since I was a little boy, I wanted to grow up and marry the most beautiful woman in the world, so here I am with 1,000 ships and 2 good hands. The fact that he's specifically stating to Cersei that he has 2 hands with Jaime present in the same room is obviously a stab at Jaime and his relationship with Cersei, but might also be a hint that Euron is the Valonqar, because remember, the Valonqar shall wrap his hands around Cersei's pale white throat and choke the life from her. There's also one more hint hidden in the books, supporting a theory of Euron being Cersei's Valonqar. In Cersei's dreams, when she visits Maggie, she wants to speak to young Cersei, and tell her it's a mistake to speak to the witch, but she cannot because in her dream she has no tongue. The hint of Euron being the Valonqar here is in the fact that Cersei has no tongue in her dreams when visiting Maggie, and as we all know, Euron is usually the one who cuts tongues in our story. None of the crew members on his ship Silence has tongue. Euron cut it out each of them by himself. I believe all of this combined is building to the fact that Euron will kill Cersei at some point, although I don't think it will actually be Euron. I think it will be Arya wearing Euron's face. Maisie Williams, an actress who plays Arya, teased this about her character. There's this split with Arya between trying to be who she wants to be, getting back to that naivete and innocence with her family, and her unfinished business. What this means is that Arya will stick with her family and fight for Winterfell against the Night King in episode 3. But when Winterfell falls and when Arya learns of Cersei's yet another betrayal over her family, she'll have to say a temporary goodbye to her family, and go on to finish her infamous list. Arriving to King's Landing, Arya will find Cersei surrounded by all those trying to get best out of her, Euron being the most prominent one. Trying to find a way to get close to Cersei without being killed on sight by the mountains, Cersei's protector at all times, Arya will decide it's best for her to kill Euron and take his face, and this way get her chance to get to Cersei. Keep it in mind that by this time Euron and Cersei are not the only allies, but are probably husband and wife as well, since Cersei will be trapped in marrying him, or otherwise he's going to abandon her. So Arya kills Euron, takes his face and goes to Cersei's chambers. Cersei, thinking it's one of those nights she has to endure now that they are husband and wife, Cersei lets Euron in and orders the Mountain to leave the room. Once in bedroom and just before they start doing their husband and wife duties, Euron will start choking Cersei. Euron is the Valonqar, but it's actually Arya wearing Euron's face. Once again, this is just a theory. It could be pretty much anyone in the story, although it will probably be one of these three: Jaime, Arya or Euron. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.